Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On-Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on-demand care for common ailments, such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org.
Hey, podcast listeners, want to stay informed without the daily email overload? Sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Every Tuesday morning, we bring you the top local stories, plus highlights from Idaho Matters and the Mountain West News Bureau, all in one easy read. Stay in the know without the clutter. Subscribe now at boisestatepublicradio.org.
You're listening to Idaho Matters. I'm Samantha Wright, filling in for Gemma Gaudette. Every New Year's Eve, we hear versions of Auld Lang Syne as we bring in the new year, but many don't know that that song was penned by celebrated Scottish poet Robert Burns. Burns was born in 1759. He's become Scotland's national poet. Every year, Scots around the world celebrate his life on his birthday with a Burns night or a Burns supper, where they eat haggis, drink whiskey, and recite his poetry. And the Caledonia Society of Idaho is hosting the 121st Robert Burns celebration on Saturday. President John McDade is here to get us in the mood. Hi, how are you?
Good afternoon. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. And we were just chatting. You've been doing this for 29 years?
Well, I've been bagpiping for 29 years, but I've been involved with the society for the last 20.
Yeah.
But as you said, we've been doing this since 1903 in Boise, and it's one of the oldest gatherings in the country. The first one was 7 years earlier in Atlanta. But as I was saying earlier, anywhere in the world that you get 2 or 3 Scottish people gathering, they're going to have one of these suppers. And I've got a good friend of mine currently in Hong Kong.
Wow.
He'll be doing the same thing Saturday night.
Wow. Okay, tell us just a little bit about Robert Burns. There's a lot there to talk about, but just give us an overview.
Well, he was he's called the plowman poet. So most of his working life, he was a farmer. Later on, he became an excise man, which was he worked for the tax man.
Oh my!
Gathering taxes, and on the side, he did the poetry.
Right, and he did a lot of poetry, and not
he
everybody
did a
does
lot.
it.
Yeah, you can't see it because we're on the radio, but I brought his complete works with me, and it's a fairly decent
That's a
size.
big book.
If you think of your big, thick Bible at home, it's about as big as that.
Yeah, it is. That's and maybe people only know Auld Lang Syne, but he's got a ton of work on all kinds of subjects.
Yeah. You probably don't know the songs, but if you hear them, you'll know them, but you won't know that he wrote them. And he also stole a lot of material as well. He would find tunes or songs, words that he enjoyed, and he would rework them for himself.
And he was quite a character. I was reading he had something like 13 children.
Well, we think about 9 children with
children?
at least 4 or 5 different ladies. He was definitely a ladies' man. He enjoyed the company of the females.
And he packed a lot in because he was not very old when he died.
I think he was about 36 when he died. Yeah, he did a lot.
He was, and now he's Scotland's national poet. So tell us what happens on a Burns night when you celebrate his birthday.
Well, typically what happens, the one that we hold here is there will be, I'm trying to think the program this year, we've got fiddle players, 2 little sisters, the Wheeler sisters, are going to play some tunes. We've got 3 bagpipe bands. It'll be the Caldwell City Police Band, the Boise Highlanders, the oldest pipe band in Idaho, and the band I play with, City of Trees. We'll have Scottish country dancing, and that will be audience participation. A friend of mine will be teaching us how to do the Gay Gordons, the Dashing White Sergeant, and probably throw in a waltz.
Wow. So he's going to teach it, so you don't have to know when you go. You can just...
Correct. We will walk through it, talk through it, and then we'll play the music and you get to dance. And if you're not crashing into the other participants, you're not doing it right.
And I understand there's a lot of libation involved. There's a lot of whiskey.
Yes. So for many years, the event was held here at BSU, the student ballroom. So it was a dry event.
Oh.
And then one year, the ballroom was being renovated. So we moved to the Riverside Hotel. And the day after the event, I got a message from the manager saying for the size of the crowd, that was quite a bar bill that we ran up. So we do have that reputation.
But that's standard for a Burns night, right? You got to have a lot of whiskey.
You got to have a wee nip of whiskey to wash down the haggis.
All right, you brought it up. Let's talk about the haggis. So, for folks who don't know, tell us what haggis is, and it's lunchtime, folks. But keep in mind, and why it's a traditional dish for this celebration.
Well, it was basically one of the dishes for the poorer folk because the cuts you use were the cuts that the lord of the manor wouldn't want to have on his table. So basically, if you do it traditionally, you start with the sheep's stomach. And then you get the heart, the liver, the lungs, the kidneys. You mince them up finely, mix with oatmeal. Then you stuff the whole thing into that sheep's stomach, sew it tight, and boil it for a couple hours.
Now, see, that's what I found fascinating. It's you boil it. Haggis is actually boiled.
It's like a big sausage. Then it'll be about the, if you imagine a football, be about the size of a football when it's done.
Wow.
And I'll actually be having one of those in a couple of weeks.
Wow.
With traditionally made. The one we'll have tomorrow on Saturday will be made in a pot.
Gotcha.
We don't have a sheep stomach big enough.
For all those people.
There'll be, I think we're up to about nearly 400 people this year.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And you don't have to be Scots to come, right?
No. We invite and welcome everybody. But again, a lot of the history of Idaho, there's a lot of Scots involved. So you've got many, many people whose family came over here 100 or so years ago and enjoy carrying on and seeing the traditions.
Wow. And it is really traditional. And of course, there's poetry.
We do read some poems, yep. I've actually brought my wee book here. If you want a quick,
you want a quick one? Yeah, we got a little.
One.
Let's do it. Right.
This is fairly appropriate since we're in Idaho, and it's one of my favorites. My heart is in the highlands. My heart is not here. My heart is in the highlands, a chasing the deer, a chasing the wild deer, and following the roe. My heart is in the highlands, wherever I go. There you go. Wee bit of that.
Lovely. Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate for the environment we live in.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to play a little bit on the bagpipes as we head out of the show.
Okay.
You ready for that?
I'm absolutely ready.
Okay, and while John gets the bagpipes up and running, we want to say we've been speaking with John McDade, the president of the Caledonia Society of Idaho, about their 121st Robert Burns celebration on Saturday. It's at the Riverside Hotel in Boise, and he tells me that there are some tickets left if you're interested in experiencing this celebration.
Yeah. If you are interested in a ticket, the only way to get one is to call me. So grab a pencil, 208-283-2563. You can still look on the Caledonian Society Facebook page if you didn't get that number. And see if we can squeeze you in. We've got a few tickets left.
All right. So you'll have to call and sweet talk John. And he's going to play a little bagpipe for us here. Here we go.
I'm Gemma Gaudette, and this is Idaho Matters.
Looking for another podcast to listen to? Check out The Nature of Idaho from our partner station KISU in Eastern Idaho. Join hosts Peter Pruitt and Dr. Leif Tapanilla as they share fascinating stories from the Gem State's great outdoors, celebrating Idaho's wildlife, landscape, and natural wonders. That's The Nature of Idaho from KISU. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.